burned. They lost everything. He didn't have one damn nickel insurance. So in order to rebuild, the story I got, and like I say, my father never said much. He didn't want to stir things up. I would have. But anyway, they borrowed $600 from him. Here, this guy, my father had been working for, what, $12 a week, $13 a week, something like that. He saved that over the years before he got married.
And he saved it. Grandma didn't save it.
Well, this is what he, yeah. But anyway,
She wasn't a saver.
the $600 rebuilt the bakery. This is a loan. And forget what year that was. I think it was 1926. Because let's see, 15, yeah. They were supposed to pay it back. And guess what?
Never did.
Never paid that damn nickel, nothing. So one time, the rest part of that story is in 1941. I graduated from high school and was scheduled to go to college. Well, I needed, I think $700 for 2 semesters. They hadn't paid it back, so my father said to my mother, he says, "You go over and tell your father I want that money." She says, "You lend it to him, you tell him." He said, "That's your father. You tell him I want that money." So she hated like hell to do it, but she did. He finally paid it. The rent he got out of that place there where the bakery was, he had rented it by that time, $10 a month, something like that. He used that and whatever else he could grab to pay my father, and used that money for me to go to school. But he didn't pay any interest, just paid the $600. This is after 15 years.
Jeez.
They took advantage of him, and he let them. I don't think I'd have put up with that crap.
Yeah, that's not right.
No, but he did. He didn't want to stir things up. So that's what he did. And he had lent some of the rest of them money too over the years, because my father would save $1 if he had a chance, and my mother would stop him if she had the chance. She liked to spend. Yeah. But anyway.
So when Uncle Ratsy had the bakery there, when did the one open on Franklin Street?
Oh,
That's the only one I knew about.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly when. I think it was about the time the war started. Yeah, before that, because one night I was prowling around. I must have been 17, maybe 18. I was kind of a night hawk. I'd go out nights. And it must have been 11, 12 o'clock. That bakery there on Franklin Street caught fire. Geez, it was really blazing. And Uncle Nick Paradiso, he was on the street. He probably another night hawk, I don't know. But anyway, we ran up the steps. They lived upstairs. And we thought sure as hell they were captured. And we got to the top of the steps and couldn't breathe. Couldn't go in there. Fire was belching out. The bad part of that was those people should have had somebody out front say, everybody got out. You know, if we tried to get in there, we'd have got killed.
Yeah.
Everybody got out.
Boy, that's you're lucky.
Yeah, that burned down. I don't know if he had insurance that time. But then the youngest one there, the guy they call Stretch, his name is Augustine. He was about as shifty a character as you ever could run into. Man, he was slippery as an eel. He treated a lot of guys around here like dirt. 2 guys I can remember, no use mentioning their names for the record. He left them hanging, owing a lot of money. His name wasn't on any paper any place. Those poor two guys there worked their fanny off trying to set this orange juice company up. Orange juice in New York State. And he talked them into it. I tell you, he was slippery. Well, the damn thing failed. They owed a lot of money. He didn't owe it. They did. Those other 2 guys. They got stung.
Jeez.
But he pulled quite a few like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I always heard people kind of mention things like that, but I never really heard heard exactly what.
The gory details, huh?
Yeah, I just heard that you kind of got to watch him. I always heard that.
Yeah.
When I was little. I remember people talking about him.
Yeah, he got run out of more than one town. Down in Florida one day, Tony Simeo was telling me he used to get free passage. His daughter worked as a stewardess, and he'd get free tickets to go any place he wanted, you know, on the airline. So he'd go down to Florida, monkey around. He got this one bar and mentioned Stretch Paradise, so the bartender damn near threw him out on his ass. Said the damn crook, he left him with bills, never paid him. Easy to believe,
Yeah.
you know. But Tony said I never mentioned him again.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
And he got run out of that town, whichever town it was. I think it was right around Orlando. And he went out west, conned people all the way out there. So I don't know what all happened, but as he ended up, somebody said he had made quite a lot of money. Who he cheated to get it, I don't know. But they said he did make quite a bit. But I don't know that to be so. Anything they say about him, you better take with a pound of salt.
Right.
Yeah. Of course, then Marion and Jim, the rest of them you know.
Right. You know, I never saw. I think I only saw Uncle Stretch maybe once. I couldn't. If I saw a picture of him, I'm not even sure I would know. You know.
Yeah,
Who he was.
you'd know him, you couldn't miss him. Short, fat. Yeah, that's as I remember. My father's family, a lot smaller, there was 4 boys. They used to send the money home once in a while. My mother write a letter to his mother, put $1 in there. This is back in the 30s. When we were kids, he was getting $16, $17 a week, something like that. She put $1 in the envelope and mailed it to his mother. Well, he and his 2 brothers here never went to school. Like I said, they took him out of school to work. They had a kid brother who was quite a bit older, or quite a bit younger than my father. My father was 3rd, just see Fiore, Tony, my father, yeah. And this guy was the 4th one. His name was Clement. And they used to send his brothers in Geneva didn't send much because he had 8 kids, but my mother used to send her $1 once in a while. They sent this Clement to school. He went to school and high school and like that, and ended up with, as I understand it, a job in the postal service. So he made out all right. But he didn't want to come here because he was making out pretty well, and my mother tells it. Of course, I don't know how my grandmother knew it, but she was like, she never left the old country. She sit there, she was still in the old country. But what was I getting to there?
About Clement not wanting to come over here?
Yeah, he didn't. He said, no, he's all right there, so my father dropped it. But then one day my mother read him a letter from Clement, said he wanted to come here. My father said, well, okay, I'll send you enough to get here. When you get here, you gotta pay me. He said, okay. So come to find out, he was heading for the port of Naples to come over here, and there was a couple guys with shotguns looking for him. Come to find out, I don't know how they knew it, but his girlfriend was pregnant. That's why he wanted to leave.
Ah.
Yeah. Her brothers had a different idea. So back he went. They got married and he had 4 kids. And my mother used to write him letters and keep in touch with them. I got a picture of one of them, her name is Olga. I don't know what happened to them, but they could all be dead by now, I don't know. That's the extent of that. Of course, the other ones I knew, they were here. I met his oldest brother back in 1941. I think I had seen him in 1939 once too. But that's them.
I thought someone was gonna take me shopping this morning.
JD is when he comes back.
Okay, you have to wait for lunch? Is that 10 o'clock? Oh, almost 11.
It's 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. Yeah, he went up to Bethany. He's pushing like hell to get us get us out of here. I don't know, we're pushing pretty hard.
Well,
Cause we can't get along here.
yeah.
Everything needs to be done, things like the garbage, can't take out. If I went down those steps, I'd stay down there, I'd never get back up.
Right. Can my dad help you with things like that, or?
Well, he took her shopping the other day, like I said, when she fell. He was
Right.
he was there. Yeah, most of the time he'll help us. He won't do any physical work. He's a hypochondriac. If you're sick, he's sicker.
Yeah.
Who's that, Nicky?
Huh?
That Nick? Who's his father?
Frank.
Frankie.
Frankie. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, even Mary Rose will tell you. She'll know a hypochondriac when she sees him. She's a registered nurse. But yeah, he's a good fellow. It's just he babies himself. I think he'd be a lot better off if he'd push himself a little harder, but he can't see it. I told him a couple times, but none of my business. But well, he tells me.
You know, someone told me about how you had to wait when the car stopped. He wouldn't let you out of the car. It was only 10, 15 seconds. I've been in his car the last couple of weeks, 2 or 3 times. And he says, you know, Aunt Barbara, you gotta wait a minute. And before he got through talking, it was time to get out. You could,
Yeah.
something about the fumes or something.
Yeah, the exhaust bothers him.
Everything bothers him.
Yeah.
That's all right. His own business. Well,
Tell me a little bit about you, and have you told me some stories about you and Grandpa in World War II?
oh, my brother?
Yeah. Well, you too. You told me about what you did in World War II. Just kind of. I know you said you never fired a shot. Remember you told me that. And
Yeah. Yeah, everybody says, how many did you kill the kids when they were small? Jeez. I didn't kill anybody. No, I told them I had a deal with the enemy. I guess I told you that. That if they didn't shoot at me, I wouldn't shoot back. So yeah, I got drafted. We were all anxious to go in those days. It wasn't like Vietnam and things like that. We were all heroes, you know. We left 2 busloads left from the municipal building to Fort Niagara. That was in January '43. Went to Fort Niagara for 2 or 3 days. Got our clothes and all that, some of our shots, and then went down to Camp Stewart. It's Fort Stewart now. Camp, what they designated a camp was a temporary post, and when they call it a fort, that's a permanent post.
So where was that?
Savannah, right outside Savannah.
Okay.
She's not supposed to hear this, but we used to call Camp Stewart the asshole of the world. And Savannah was 50 miles up it.
Shame on you.
Well, or maybe the other way around. Well, that was, you want to know about our service time?
Yeah, why not?
But we were kind of lucky to, in one way, there was a big contingent, the biggest draft to leave here. We were the first 18, 20-year-old draft. We were all, I think I was 19, 43, yeah, I was 19. That was the first 18, 20-year-old draft. We went down to Stewart for basic training, and could hear a lot of guys when they went alone, Jesus, crying away to homesick, you know.
Right.
And with us,
You okay?
I had one brother, 8 sisters, but he was killed in service.
yeah, we didn't get that far. But anyway, down there was a gang from Watkins, so